The moment you open your mouth to defend yourself, you have already lost. In the court of power, the act of defense is an admission of guilt. Why? Because an innocent king does not debate with a peasant. To defend yourself is to accept the frame of the enemy. It is to step into a cage they built and try to negotiate your way out. We are going to deconstruct why silence is the ultimate weapon, and why your need to clear your name is the very thing destroying your reputation. Principle 1. The trap of validation. When an enemy accuses you, they are not seeking truth. They are seeking a combatant. They throw a gauntlet at your feet, hoping you are foolish enough to pick it up. If you engage, you accept their premise that you are equals worthy of battle. By responding to a baseless attack, you elevate the attacker. You take a person who was previously beneath your notice and pull them up to your level. You grant them visibility they could never earn on their own merits. Attention is a finite resource, a currency more valuable than gold. Your detractors are beggars starving for this currency. When you defend yourself, you are dropping coins into their cup, financing the very campaign that seeks to destroy you. Every accusation comes with a frame, a constructed reality where you are the villain. To argue is to step inside that frame. You cannot dismantle a house while you are standing inside it. You must remain outside, observing it burn. The ultimate invalidation is to become a ghost to your enemies. They scream, they accuse, they claw, but you are not there. You look through them, walk through them, and live as if they do not exist. This indifference cuts deeper than any sword. True contempt is not loud, it is silent. To argue is to care. By refusing to acknowledge the attack, you demonstrate that the attacker is so beneath you that their words do not even register as noise. You crush them with the weight of your irrelevance. Defense is quicksand. The more you struggle to explain yourself, the deeper you sink. One explanation requires 2 clarifications, which require 4 justifications. You can never struggle your way out of the pit. You can only survive by standing perfectly still. Principle 2. Blood in the water. Defensiveness is a biological signal of fear. The moment your voice raises, your pitch wavers, or your text becomes too long, you are releasing a pheromone of guilt. The predators do not bite because you are wrong. They bite because you smell like prey. There is a fatal paradox in communication. The more you explain, the less you are believed. Brevity is the soul of authority. An explanation is a plea for understanding, and a plea is the language of the subordinate. Wolves chase anything that runs. It is their instinct. If you stand your ground, staring them in the eye without flinching, they hesitate. If you run to defend yourself, you trigger their chase drive, and they will hunt you down. You think you are building a defense, but you are actually digging a hole. Every word you speak provides new ammunition for your enemy to twist. You are handing them the very shovel they will use to bury your reputation. The only shield that cannot be pierced is absolute, unnatural calm. When the accusation is screaming and chaotic, and you respond with the silence of a monk, the contrast makes you look like the adult and them like the hysterical child. You must understand that even a micro-expression of anger is a victory for them. If they see you clench your jaw, if they see your eyes widen, they know they have bypassed your defenses. You must wear a mask of porcelain, beautiful, cold, and utterly unreadable. There is a saying, never wrestle with a pig. You both get dirty, and the pig likes it. To the observer, 2 people fighting in the mud look identical. By engaging with a low-status attacker, you absorb their filth until the world can no longer distinguish between the king and the peasant. Principle 3. The asymmetry of effort. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. This is the law of information entropy. If you try to chase down every lie, you are fighting a forest fire with a water pistol. Your enemies know that dragging you into a defense is a strategy of attrition. They want to drain your mental energy so you have nothing left for your actual goals. They are vampires feeding on your productivity. Once you apologize for something you didn't do, or explain something that didn't need explaining, you step onto the treadmill. You will have to run faster and faster just to stay in the same place, sweating for an audience that wants you to fall. Every hour spent defending your name is an hour not spent building your empire. While you are busy writing a retort to a nobody, your competitor is busy overtaking you. The cost of defense is not just dignity, it is success. The master strategist knows which fires to fight and which fires to let burn. Some accusations are merely brush fires. If you leave them alone, they consume themselves and die out. Engaging them only adds oxygen. Conflict is an investment. Before you engage, you must look at the balance sheet and ask, what is the return on this battle? If the answer is zero, or worse, negative, then the only logical business decision is to bankrupt your enemy by denying them the transaction entirely. When you violently attempt to suppress a story or defend an attack, you often draw more attention to it than if you had done nothing. Your resistance acts as a spotlight. The world assumes that if you are fighting this hard to hide something, there must be something worth hiding. Principle 4. The mirror of silence. Silence creates a vacuum. Human beings are terrified of vacuums. They feel a compulsion to fill them. When you refuse to speak, your accuser will keep talking to fill the silence, often revealing their true crazy nature in the process. Without your defensive reaction to dampen the sound, their screaming becomes deafeningly loud to everyone else. Your silence acts as a backdrop of white canvas, making their chaotic splashes of paint look messy and hysterical. Give an enemy enough rope and they will hang themselves. By staying silent, you allow them to overextend, to exaggerate, and to contradict themselves. They will dismantle their own credibility far more effectively than you ever could. There is a psychological power in being the statue. When the storm rages around you and you do not blink, you project a level of certainty that intimidates the soul of the accuser. They begin to wonder, what does he know that I don't? To a narcissist or a manipulator, indifference is a fate worse than death. By denying them a reaction, you are essentially erasing their existence. You become a mirror that reflects nothing, and that is the ultimate psychological punishment. When you provide no details about your thoughts or feelings, people are forced to project their own fears onto you. You become a blank movie screen. Your silence allows them to write a story about how powerful and dangerous you are. A story far more intimidating than anything you could actually say. Silence is unpredictable. Words give away your next move, but silence keeps the enemy guessing. A silent man is dangerous because he has not revealed his cards. In the absence of data, the enemy's mind will assume you are planning a checkmate, and they will retreat out of fear of the unknown. The next time you feel the urge to correct the record, to send that text, to make that public statement, stop. Swallow the impulse. It will taste bitter, like swallowed pride. It will burn going down. But as you digest it, that bitterness will transmute into a cold, hard power. Let them be wrong about you. Let them tell stories. Let them underestimate you. While they are exhausting themselves trying to define you, you will be busy becoming untouchable. In a world of noise, the man who says nothing becomes a myth, a riddle they cannot solve. You are building a fortress that words cannot penetrate. Once you master this, you are free. The insults will pass through you like ghosts, and you will sleep with the peace of a king who knows his borders are secure. The lion does not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep.